Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Fortitude Podcast. Finally, the time has arrived and you are welcome to our presence. Not like it was any different to last week, but the only difference this time out is we have more of a script and more structure. It's probably going to get more boring, I imagine, but to my left, and my anger left, over there, it is
Jason Watson.
And to my right, the crafty right.
Crafty right. Why am I crafty?
You're just
I'll
crafty.
explain to both of you. I'll explain to all of them why you two are both crafty and why I'm angry now.
Kamal doesn't want to be a part of the craft.
But Kay's King Craft.
You were an instigator because I've seen how you guys do said things. They'll find out. Everyone will find out soon.
Wait,
I was sitting down.
Come on, I've still got things to do.
Oh, he's so mad.
And me, Frankie Lars. Jay, what's your Instagram?
Rustic Soul.
Kay.
Laugh of Kamal.
And me, the real Frankie Lars. Before we go on to our usual, the weekly recap, and I can see the 10-minute recap Jay wants to get out right now. But first of all, I do have to say, what's we got planned for this podcast? Because, you know, it's about time.
I think it's because I mentioned the word Lee.
No, wait, it was. But stop spiralizing. So, I'm going to tell the audience what they're about to hear, because normally our hour-long podcasts, people cut out 5 minutes in, so you're going to know what we're fucking talking about. So I told Jay about this the other day. At some point, our discussion that we're going to have is going to be on large people and being body positive.
Wait, you two spoke about this?
No, we didn't, but
Jay told me then to shut up.
Frankie told us that he's going to have a new talking point, and I told him not to tell us the talking point until the podcast starts.
So we're going to talk about, probably in about 25 minutes time.
Well, I've got a good 15 minutes worth of problems coming at you.
Large people and them essentially advocating body positivity. And is it alright? So we're going to talk about that. I've also put in a new segment. It's called Headlines. And I'm going to read some of the outrageous headlines. I've only got one today because we're testing it. And I've done some research. I got my laptop up. I've got a picture. I photoshopped all these bits together. You know, I'm a man of many talents. And outros. After saying many talents, I realised I wasn't supposed to read the outros bit there because that's not relevant. But, you know, should we crack on with the 10-minute recap? Jay, what's on your mind?
So we're having a relatively good day today. We had some successful meetings and so on. And then we've kind of discussed where we're going with this next year. And I was talking about how the utility cupboard, the room with all the equipment needs to be stored and done up properly so that we have somewhere to store all of our stuff. And I was turning backwards and forwards between the room and my two friends here. Well, who I thought were my friends. And then so I was doing stuff in the room and talking to them. And I said I need the camera for the vlog. So the camera needs to be me with the vlog. And then Frank was like, no, you can't have the camera for the vlog because Kamal needs the camera for a bit he's doing. So I was like, okay, so the vlog's off to a good start. And then this is just context. And then I said, all right, so the vlogs will be starting on Monday anyway for the following week to be going out. And Frank was like, do you have a plan with the vlogs? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he went, do you though? And then I was like, yeah, I do. It's going to be good. And then as I turn around saying, yeah, they're going to be good. As I turn around, I catch Kamal and Frankie looking at each other. Frankie's got like a half laugh, half kind of disappointed look, kind of squinting his eyes in his face and shaking his head.
You've added the shake of the head.
You were shaking your head.
You
were doing the exact face I've seen you do when people talk about things and you're like,
I'll let you speak.
You're doing the whole like, I don't quite believe what they're saying or I don't have faith in what they're saying. Not like, I mean, you're sitting in this four walls of something that I've produced with Kay. And then Kay was obviously giving him the look as well. Of which I see these two.
We have to wait.
These two perform. They do this look to each other for years. When a certain person talks about stuff, they look at each other as if to humour him and to dum him and be like, nah, this fucking guy. And they do this about another person. I just caught them doing it to me. So my question to them was, how often over the years I've been talking business? When I've been talking, have you guys done
You're going to make it worse when I can clear this up.
Right. No, Kate, you do your bit.
No, because you're going to make it worse.
No, Kate, do his bit.
This is outrageous.
I must say that was very unfortunate timing because that's exactly what it looked like. So I don't blame you.
Unfortunately, cool.
But as you said it, Frankie looked at me and then smiled because that's what Frankie does. Frankie smiles at me, and then I went from looking at you, I looked at Frankie, saw his smile. And then you turned around, and then that smile was creepy because let's put this into context. If somebody smiles at you, you're clearly going to look at them to find out what the smile's about. And then Frankie will now jump in.
All right, my context, and this is the issue here. I thought you were messing around with what you were saying.
Oh, these are such like convenient things.
Oh, but what?
But it's true. It's true.
So why is it not allowed to be true? Just because it doesn't match up with your...
Because I've seen you do it to somebody else.
You have
before.
seen me do it, and to them, genuinely,
So
I'm taking the piss.
I've seen this play out, and I know what it means.
Yeah, but your context in your head is completely different to what is going through my head. It's like when we had I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but when we... the last time, what were we doing? I think it was before a podcast last time where we were talking on Instagram, and things were just... I think I said something about I'm doing the YouTube videos and all that time. It's essentially that whole thing was...
perspective, innit?
Yeah, we had different perspectives on it. And me, literally, when you were standing there, I go, Jay, so have you got the vlogs covered? And then you're going, yeah, sure, go on. You were saying it in a way that I was led to believe you were winging it and having a joke.
I can vouch for that.
So which is fair. Yeah, you may have.
Therefore, I laughed.
And I believe that. But it was the
but this is
eye contact between
the
two,
difference.
And then as I turned around, the situation stopped as I caught it.
No, but let me finish my story.
Yeah, I'm finishing your story. It's fine.
You literally, I started to smile and laugh, obviously because that's what you do when you think someone is messing around. You looked away to fiddle with the camera. I then look at Kay, doing the exact same face I was doing whilst you were turning your head. And then look back at you, and then you look back at me, thinking that we're taking the piss.
And Kay's laughing at you whilst you say your story.
He did not help by saying Lee.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kay
Not
told
Lee.
me what context it was in, so he instantly paired the two thoughts together.
You shouldn't have done, because that wasn't what it was.
And during your story just then, he's
like
already smiling and laughing at what you're saying. Because he knows it's not entirely true. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's a matter of perspective and how we look at things.
I think I've ruined it with Lee because I said it to him. But that's exactly what it looked like from the outside perspective.
Like before, you thought it was going to become something. I think you still thought it was a joke. So you said to me, "Oh, you're doing the Lee thing," which then made it serious.
At that point.
Because to me, at that point, it was all a joke, and I thought you were taking the piss out of the vlogs. I genuinely thought you were.
So too.
I thought you were doing like satire.
One of you guys can never tell you stories about looking at each other first. You should have planning this to each other.
I have. That's how we talk during the podcast. I look back and forth.
Yeah, they're lining up their story perfectly.
I swear on my mother's life.
Changed slightly from Kamal's original concept to Frankie's new concept. Things have changed.
My new concept was the one I would have said if we would have talked rationally beforehand. I would have said these exact words. And when I swear on my mother's life, Louise will know this because I lie to her all the time. And then she goes, swear on your mum's life. And I go, and because I don't want to do it, I swear I mumble it. I go, swear on my mum's life.
I'll tell you what, I'll swear on my mum's life as well. I didn't mean it in that way either.
I don't believe you, Kay.
What the hell?
Well, that's what happened, listeners. And, I mean, we'll leave it what it is. It can go either or. It's either or. Who knows?
I would like to be trusted. I would like to be taken by my word. You can't take me on my... I wouldn't lie.
I'm just in pain.
So, I can definitely see from Jason's perspective. It looks
I can see, yeah, 100%. But
it looks like we're taking a piss.
Standing there looking
fully ruined it.
Talking about.
I've ruined it by saying the Lee thing, but at that stage, I still thought it's a joke.
If you're listening, Lee, sorry, but you do know we do it to you anyway.
Yeah.
Lee threatens to beat us both up when we do. I mean, Jay pretty much.
That's why you hear him so much. Nasty boys. But anyway,
I don't humour him. I just get set off laughing very, very easily.
That's what happened before this all started, and it was all going so well today. But anyway, so Kay, what you been up to? Frankie's doing bits, plugging things in. So
me and Jay had a very, very good day today. Really productive. Had some meetings. Spoke about Frankie. Spoke about the business direction, all that sort of stuff. And we came up with an idea that we're going to run past Frankie shortly after the podcast about how we're going to structure our Sundays. I'm going to set us up for the week. Going to get us really excited.
Yeah, it was all good, really positive stuff. What about apart from today?
What else did we do?
Adminning, you've been admitting.
Oh, yeah, Jason covered that was on the previous podcast anyway, wasn't it? Yeah.
You can speak about your new business? Are you allowed to do that? Or do you want to do that? Speak about your new Instagram profile?
Oh, yeah.
Try to goad me into?
I've downloaded this mastermind thing, Instagram mastermind. And it's about this guy is trying to coach people how to get an Instagram page that goes up to 1 million followers and whatnot. It turns out it's a really shit course. but out of 36 hours, it's been about 10 minutes of useful footage. So I'm going to apply some of the things that he's given out and create some pages, see if they can get some traction, get some followers, monetize them, sell the ad space, and
Kay's all about money. You see, he's how can he make the most money?
He's got a lot of solo adventures going on, isn't he?
Solo venturing.
I'll tell you guys about Jason's solo adventure in a minute. But yeah, so if you guys want to follow Libra Motivation on Instagram or Men's Fashion SDA, that would be great.
Oh, and you're doing two. I thought you were just doing the one.
Yeah, Kay's doing loads.
Just do, man.
3.
Is it easy to manage then? Doing
yeah, it's
multiple?
just going to be a backlog.
Oh.
And then I was going to use an Instagram scheduling app, but it turns out it doesn't let you schedule more than 24 hours in advance.
Which is annoying, isn't it?
Jason, meanwhile, has been working on his blog.
Yeah,
Stepping J.
Where did this come from, Jay?
What's that?
Where did the blog come from out of nowhere?
I done the blogs a while ago for the Fortitude one, and the guys didn't really like it very much. I
loved it.
So it got one day taken off the website, which was a showcase that it needed to be stopped. So I figured I quite like talking. I like writing things. I like saying stuff. You
took off the website.
Yeah, I like talking. Yeah, it's a while back, so you probably won't remember because you didn't like it.
I did like it.
So yeah, I quite like the idea of it, and I've got a lot of things I want to talk about. I've got a lot of things I want to say.
I enjoy reading your blog,
so
Jay.
The blogs are coming out, and I'm going to do it on rusticsoul.co.uk.
You've got a website?
Ooh.
I already have the website.
Nice.
What?
Yeah,
you see that coming.
It's on there, but it's not. What you're now out to look at, if you look at it now, is not finished. It's just like a rough sketch of it.
What are you using? Platform?
101. It's it's up there with one of the better ones to blog on, and it has a built-in e-commerce.
Oh my god, yes!
If you come to, you can see it's
oh
right
my
there.
goodness,
that's sexy first.
It's not finished yet. I'm just laying out some foundations of it, so I'm going to be releasing blogs on there. Maybe even eventually sell my soul rags, which I'm wearing right now.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So yeah,
soul rags.
You know what I thought you meant by soul rags when you said it? I thought you meant like a rag for tears.
Yeah.
But
it is my rags of tears. I cry into them.
I'd like a soul rag.
Yeah. Well,
how much would you sell them for?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much. I haven't really looked that far ahead. I'm only just on there.
He's already got merch.
I can't even start. I can't really start doing that until I get a blog that actually gets like more than one hit.
That's actually fucking epic. I'm proud of it. That's it.
Cheers, man.
Is that the end goal? Just from selling stuff?
The blog is just because I don't know. I like the idea of blogging. I'd like to, if it can become something that supplements my income, then yeah, that'd be great. But it's just an opportunity to talk about stuff. I like to talk about things, and I like to get bits out. So yeah, it's cool. If it becomes something where I can have a multi-platform income coming from that, in addition to what we currently do, then why not? I read something recently about multiple forms of income. Obviously, small forms of income create a larger form of income as a whole. So you're creating a platform of multiple income growth, which is good. It's what you want. I mean, I'm trying to get a mortgage here, so I'm out here trying to start a family. So yeah, I got to do what I got to do.
I like it.
I spurred on by Kay's solo adventures that it's okay to sometimes do a side project.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like we joke that it's selfish and we take the mick, but it's genuinely not. If anything, you're looking out for number one, but you're putting the work in. It's like you deserve it. It's like if you were doing this and then you've done something to directly, like I think you said, like directly impose on Fortitude Fitness, then maybe. But like if you started a clothing range, then you're screwing over Fitco. But
stuff,
I think there's nothing absolutely wrong with doing anything.
Soul Rags is fucking epic.
Soul Rags would be cool.
I think it depends. If your workload, like let's say we had an agreement on how much we were each doing workload wise, and let's say I went Frankie gaming again and then wasn't pulling my weight, then I can see why that's then selfish.
Yeah, so if your solo projects are preventing the greater cause, then that's obviously a problem.
Yeah,
which means you've gone a bit rogue. That's
why I genuinely stopped with the game and stuff, is because it was taking so much time that I wasn't doing anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you got to find a way to fit it in.
So create multiple streams of income if you're listening to this.
The amount of times I've tried to do that, and then the stream, Kay's beating up his mic. He's like, "You touch me, I'm golden."
We'll find out why Kay's beating up his mic. I'll tell you why Kay's beating up his current mic. I'll tell you why in the K list.
Oh,
Guys,
by the way, the K list it slides in now to the weekly recap.
Okay, they do tend to merge quite nicely.
Question, comment in the comment section below that we don't have. Do I sound quiet if you don't have headphones on?
Oh, this is aimed at you, Frank.
No,
It is aimed at me. Kay was attacking me earlier on in the chat.
I'm just wondering. I'm just out here trying
Kay
to
said he demands the solo mic.
Oh,
No, I
man,
didn't
that's the
demand
K-list
it.
section.
Oh, Jesus, sorry, Jay.
Right,
Jay,
just
jump in.
Okay, so K-list, right. So
Is this the part where the jingle comes in?
Kay is trying to still host.
Nice. That's a great title.
Why are you
The
asking?
K list.
Here
I'm
we
just
go.
jumping in a bit late.
Title of this email.
This email?
That's
Right,
like
so
Coach Prince.
Kay has decided that like he thought that he was not coming off across as loud enough or dominating enough, in other words. He wasn't the alpha of the podcast. He wasn't the dominating voice.
Or just a voice.
He was.
It's just a mouse in the background.
And he, at the moment we're sitting in a bit of a triangle shape where me and Kay are over here and Frankie's over there being the host with the host mic. And Kay's like, the only way I can see we can get around this is if I get given the host mic, so that then Kay gets the middle sounding voice. Because obviously me and Kay are left and right, and Frankie is the middle sounding voice.
The middle.
So Kay wants the middle sounding voice so that he comes from both ears because he feels as though he deserves both sides of the brain.
Both sides of the brain.
As opposed to one side of the brain. That's the exact story. We don't need to talk about what really happened. It is what it is.
Let's dive deeper. So, essentially, what happens is.
Oh, let's dive deeper, not let Kay explain himself.
Go on, Kay. Go on.
Nah, it's alright. I don't want to do it now. I don't have any valid points to raise that don't make me look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Disagreeing. No, it's genuinely because this mic is the one I'm on is so OP compared to yours, and you'll hear like if you could turn down your right ear, you'd hear faintly all of us talking because that's just how the mics pick up. I mean, it's not like your mics can't hear me because your ones can, but this one's so bloody loud that I'm talking into it just overpowers the background one. That's why sometimes in our podcast we get this weird like echo because I have one track, you have one track, and like sometimes the tracks don't align properly, so then we get a weird echo. It does my head in. I don't understand how it does it, but somehow it managed to shift itself halfway like during editing, and I don't even touch it.
I mean, I can see
It's a
the
nightmare.
mics now, and even when I talk, the left one. I mean,
But
this
Kay,
is
you're not
saying
talking. You're talking into your. You're not even talking into the mic.
Yeah,
You are above it.
Okay. How
You
about
have
now? Even when I talk into the mic directly right now, that mic is picking up my voice just as much as this mic is.
But then
Well, yeah.
what about when I talk? How does it?
Exactly
Yours
the
is
same.
overpowering mine massively.
Well, that's because you're next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why isn't it doing it to Jay's mic?
Like,
What do you mean?
Can I? All right, ready? Here's the thing. Right, okay, say some words. Ready?
Saying some words.
And again.
Saying some words.
Boy, you whispering it now.
Saying some words.
Yeah, yours is the right mic, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
reaching the top. Now, if I say Jason Watson, say some words, my left mic doesn't actually go up as high as your one does.
But while I'm speaking now, your left mic is still picking it up,
Yeah, but
Well, yeah,
when
they
I
will.
talk, when I talk, your right mic is still picking it up.
but not quite as
No,
much.
no,
as
no,
the left
yeah,
mic.
no,
No,
they are the same. They're not at the same level. If anything, when you actually talk, your voice, when you talk and when I talk, when we're on our normal voices, your bar goes higher than my one does.
I'm gonna
I can neither confirm or deny what has just been said.
It
was just
that's
agree
why,
to disagree.
That's why you had to pick it up.
That's why I'm trying to put it far away from Jason. so he can't
Kay
actually-
put his own spin on the situation to explain the bars in a way that they weren't actually moving.
Yeah,
So I
Here's the funny
explained
thing
the
about
bars.
and that doesn't impact anything. That doesn't correlate with anything that happens post. So
Talking
when
of
I'm editing,
Impact, have you guys watched the Impact
spiralize.
Spiralise.
It's
There we
just
go.
spiralize. Probably that's a boring
There should be
topic.
a lot.
No, it's a good topic. I mean, like another thing is general voice projection and the way your voice carries. I've been on
Okay.
stage many times as a young actor, and yeah, you have to really. Your voice can't just be normal. You have to add like a secondary outtone to your voice so it picks up. You have to like project like you're talking.
Jay
to
saying you mumble.
How do I add a secondary
Breathe
voice?
in through here. Breathe in through your tummy. Your tummy should expand outwards. Your diaphragm should go down. And as you talk, it carries out with such volume and glory that it
Oh, that
carries
does feel
across.
much better.
To be honest though, if bear in mind like all the podcasts, my one's been slightly louder. If you don't clearly speak and your one's lower than mine, then it is hard to hear because people like that. I mean, if I speak like this but in proper words, people can still hear me. People know what I'm saying.
So don't mumble, basically.
Yeah.
And just carry your voice with some With some balls.
He's getting slammed. And the thing is...
No,
Well, I try to speak quietly so everyone else can get a chance to speak as well.
It's weird. Also,
Oh, no. To be fair, Kate, what we say, Kate?
yeah, well, sorry, mate. I thought you would finish your sentence.
No, because usually, say, if I wanted to talk like at my normal voice, I'd speak like a little bit louder. But I feel like that's too loud.
But don't worry about
So I
that,
take
because I'll just turn it down. If it's too
okay.
loud, I can do anything.
I'm
I'm powerful.
alright.
Yeah, just talk normally.
Hello.
There we go.
Oh, you're loud in my ears.
No, because when we're in a room full of people, Kay's voice dominates the room. He talks. I mean, I don't ever get hurt. As soon as I start a sentence, he either coughs or he starts his own sentence.
Yeah.
But on the podcast, you quieten down. So
It's because of us three in the room, isn't it?
but when it's us three in the room and a bunch of others,
You like to
it's
cut
okay
us.
to out talk.
I just lose myself, just get lost in the.
Star of the room.
Have you got any proper Do you know what I've realised over the last few weeks? Is the K list is actually deteriorating, meaning K must be on his best behaviour, or...
I've been behaving myself, everyone. Coming out of detention. Talking about detentions, have you guys been in detention much at school?
Spiralise.
Hey! We should have an alarm like. Pew, woo, woo.
That's the alarm forever
please
now.
repeat that.
We could do like an Arabic one.
Arabic. That is the one
sorry
with
for
extremely
everyone listening.
racist.
That's
I'm going to turn you up just
Have you
for
seen what's
that
happened
bit.
in the last 10 seconds? Kay's done 2 sounds to really project his voice. He's
Yeah.
done the
Just
alarm
warming up my voice
siren
box.
sound and now the Arabic sound. He's just... God, this is going to sound crazy.
go on.
He's got
YouTube,
solo sound.
Solo sound. Go on YouTube and type in Family Guy gay sirens.
Oh.
You got any K-list stuff, Jay?
No, this is from last. The biggest K-list I had this week was the mic dominating thing.
I've got one sort of K-list, but it's not actually really K's fault, other than just by being born.
Yeah.
This is Aaron thing.
This is Aaron's one.
Fuck.
So I'm sitting there, I'm eating something my beautiful girlfriend made me for lunch. So I'm devouring said item. Aaron sits down and just keeps moaning and...
That's just what he does.
lads, and just shouting things. So I'm like, all right, Aaron, we have a little chat and so on. And then he starts talking about Tinder. And these are Aaron's words, not mine, audience, so don't get offended. And he was like, do you ever find it awkward when ugly girls have hot girls in their Tinder pictures? And I was like, well, no. But I kind of understand what you mean. When I was on Tinder, that sometimes it's not ugly, ladies. Sometimes you'd have a really attractive friend, and then sometimes maybe you weren't so attractive compared to your friend.
Aren't all women beautiful?
All women are beautiful in their own rights, but obviously some at a point.
For some reason, it's really
Externally aren't as pleasing.
Yeah. Aesthetic.
But so yeah, whatever. So then he goes, it's like if me or you put K in our pictures.
Oh!
And then it took me a minute. I had a bite of my food, and I was like, did you say me? And I was like, what the hell are you getting me involved?
If we put K in our picture, we'd all suffer.
But then he wouldn't back down from that. He was like, well, you understand. I'm like, I don't understand.
What are you saying? Am I the ugly girl?
And he went, you wouldn't do it, would you, Frankie? You wouldn't have him in your face. He's just too good looking. I was like,
Oh,
it's just... It's his beard. He was going, he's got a chiseled beard. And I go, I do have a fat face.
that is both flattering.
So I was really upset whilst eating my lunch.
I'm so sorry for something I didn't do.
Yeah, it's your fault, Kay.
I mean, that's like when people comment on my stories to talk about something Kay done instead. Like, yeah, that's the same thing.
That's strange. That's a strange thing.
That has happened. I called someone, I was talking to a guy and he had a new coat. I said, oh, mate, you look great in that coat.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but Kay's a good looking one. And I was like, oh, are you just telling me that? Are you just trying to tell me these things?
You think I don't know?
I mean, it's not even in this conversation right now. I gave you the compliment. And I just didn't understand.
Someone said something very similar the other day. I think I was on shift, just sitting there. And I don't know what happened. I'm probably lying. someone come in and go, "Oh, is Kay about and all that?" And then I was like, "Sure, I'm such making this up." It went from a really honest story to me completely winging it. I'm gonna just cancel out. I'm bailing. Bail out.
I was gonna say, everyone, that I'm an acquired taste. All right. Okay, it's not obvious. But if you really look at me at the right angle from like in the right light, then it might be all right.
Jason's got a chiseled jawline. He's got amazing cheekbones.
Is this when you say it? When you say it, Frankie, I feel like it's.
Why?
When you say
Why are you putting Frankie?
Well, you're doing an Aaron on me. You're agreeing. You're about to do an Aaron.
I was looking at Frankie while I was talking to Kay.
Yeah, you were looking at me going, he is quite fucking ugly, isn't he? What the hell, bro?
When you say it, Kay, I just don't feel like you mean it.
I mean it.
I feel like you say nice things about me and Frankie, knowing that like everyone else doesn't believe that.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I definitely think you.
Kay has said this. Kay, this is where I started to doubt Kay and his words.
Yeah.
And you've probably done the same, Jay.
Yeah.
Kay, I think when I first started here, you two used to big me up, make me feel real good about myself. And then when I started to feel shit about myself, I realised why. And I was like, it's because you do the same, but to everyone.
But with me,
but when it's obviously not true.
I want to defend myself.
Wait, okay, you could. Defense will be in trial straight after.
There we go. I'll be the judge here.
So I'm standing there as a seer of things, and I see Kay say to someone, I'm not going to say who, a certain person who maybe isn't aesthetically attractive from there. I'm not going to say any names. It's actually someone I know, and you go, oh, a good-looking chap, and I know you're trying to make him feel good.
And he froze for a second, thinking, "Oh wait, Kay said that to me before."
Yeah, and then I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Kay said I was looking dapper once, and I now I know I look like shit, and should never be in a photo of Kay.
It's true. He does that a lot.
What's your defense?
Well, so the defense is, first of all, I think you both know that you're good looking. So when I say
I doubt myself.
I assume that you guys know that I'm telling the truth. Now, when a slightly less attractive person gets a compliment from me, I like to see I like to see the beauty in people. So, for example, if their hair is looking better than it was before, it's a compliment. Like, oh, dude, your hair is looking good. Because for them, in their perspective, that's a good little haircut they had. Or I don't know, they've lost 20 pounds. They might still be fat as fuck, but because they lost 20 pounds, for them, in their reality, that's better than it was before. Therefore, they deserve a compliment for it. If they were continuously looking like shit, then I wouldn't give them a compliment saying, "Oh, you look good, man." Like, yeah, I'd be honest. I'd say, "Yeah, man, you haven't gymmed in a while." Like, I say horrible things to people as well if they deserve it.
Do you know what? You've managed to spin it and make us sound like the worst people. Yeah. And do you know that look I just done at you, Jay?
Was that?
Do you know that when I was staring at you when Kay was talking?
Yeah, no, it's horrible.
What? What do you mean it was horrible?
Why do you think I looked away from you as soon as you done it?
You didn't. You were smiling as well.
You've done it, and I looked to the left.
Oh, come off!
Because it's a nasty thing to do.
No, I was laughing because we're the bad guys out of it.
We are terrible.
You've managed to spin that.
I think to be fair, I mean that was a great defense.
It was actually best.
That was your best. Where you made up these stories.
No, I meant
that was your best. That was good defense. I like
it. People.
I mean, but then you say that, but then it counteracts when one time me and you picked up a weight at the same time. You were pumped as hell, and I was just starting my workout. And you were like, "Look how look."
So in your reality, So you're not big,
Jason,
but you're nowhere near big.
But Kay said I am.
But in your reality, you're bigger than you were.
You look,
so you're tiny to Kay, but in your reality, you're big.
In my reality, you look bigger than you did 10 minutes ago from the moment I gave you a compliment. Because you were pumped 10 minutes later.
Enough time.
Well, somehow it wasn't enough time for your message.
I don't believe it.
I meant it. I meant the compliment.
Nice. I genuinely believe you, but you're very crafty. He's very crafty.
Yeah, just fallen victim to the persuasive ways.
Persuasive ways.
Kay Suave persuasion.
We'll tell you exactly what you want to do.
Oh God, he's good.
He's good. He's got you in a double spin there.
The
original spin followed by the secondary spin, and now you're falling into it.
The worst thing is now Jason makes me look like a bad guy.
You flipped it again. You flipped it.
And now we're back on track.
Order is restored.
Jason is the truth teller.
I did say I was going to be. Yeah, I'd be quoted as if a child called me the trustworthy one, then that must be true. Children are innocent.
I wonder how you paid him.
That is disgusting.
That's a horrible thing.
What the hell?
That's one of your client's children.
He's talking about Vicky's children.
He's the one who doesn't said it in the podcast. Do you not remember what your client's children do?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I have to be reminded to remember stuff.
I get spinned out so easily. Try to say one nice thing.
Spin attack. Spin.
Right.
Spiral. Time to move on, I'm afraid, because we're losing our steam there. The discussion. Are we ready? For I keep forgetting. I had a catchy name for it last week. It was unintelligent opinion.
Nice.
That's what it is. But this one's actually an intelligent opinion because I believe we know about this. Large people expressing body positivity. Come on, thoughts.
How so? What do you mean?
What was it?
Context.
So, Cosmopolitan 2018 as a magazine or something. I had a look on it, and it had a plus size model. I think they called it. They the big girls.
So you're talking girls who are not like just maybe curvy, but actually genuinely.
I'm talking
obese and overweight.
Yeah, obese. So
not just girls; it can be girls and boys.
Yeah, doesn't matter. So it says large people. So people. But this one was a female who was obese on the front cover of a magazine, and essentially she advocates being good in her own skin, and also saying that you shouldn't have to change. I mean, you don't have to do anything you want, but what's your point on that?
Unfortunately, we're at the stage where within society everything's so acceptable. Like we talked about transgender and stuff like that in the previous podcast. Here's the thing: if you're fat, or if you're too skinny or anorexic, it's unhealthy. If you're pumping a shitloads of steroids into your body and you're 300 pounds of pure muscle and your heart's about to explode, that's also unhealthy. I think everything's in moderation. Like there is a general health consensus where ideally you'll be within a certain framework. If you go above or beyond that, you're still unhealthy. There's no reason to make other fat girls think that it's okay to be fat just because you're fat. Yes, you should be comfortable in your own skin, but you should also be better in yourself and not inspiring other people to stay fat. I think that's completely wrong. Same way as, I don't know, if you're too skinny and you're trying to promote, I mean, if a skinny girl did that, she'll be slated for it. But if you're fat, for some reason, you can't get as much
double standards across the board.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay,
It is. You see that a lot. Following on from what Kay said, where like a fitness lady, a fitness girl, a fit chick, if you will be criticised for talking about her body and being like, "I'm happy in my skin, I'm happy with how I look," but be told she's claiming that that's like she gets slated for it as if to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't be encouraging people that that's the best way to look." Then why is it okay for a person who's obese? So it's very, they're happy, then they're fine. That's fine, they're happy. But why is it okay for them to be like, "Oh, it's good to be big, it's good to be curvy, you should be happy in your skin no matter what," but then criticize the person who's telling you it's good to be in shape, it's good to be slim? Like, you can't have it both ways. If you want to say it's okay to be body happy, don't then slate the people who are saying I want to be body happy too, but who aren't big. Like, I get exactly what you mean when you say that there. Like, it's
and on a biological level as well. If clearly, if you're let's be honest, if you're going to be fat, you're clearly not eating right. So you're pumping shit into your body. You're not going to have a positive chemical reaction. You're going to be depressed more often. And therefore, you're not going to be happy. That's just a pure lie. You're just trying to convince yourself that you're happy and other people about it. Well, in reality, if you were in shape, you would feel better.
Yeah, like heart and lungs and general health is still a thing to be considered here. Like, you can't just be saying that it's okay to be like this, it's okay to be like that. When actually, if you look at it from a beauty point of view and then you look at it from a health point of view, it's unhealthy. Like, they can say they look beautiful and they some people might think they do and they might think they do, and people have their opinions and it doesn't really matter. But from a health point of view,
healthy body, healthy mind.
Yeah, they're going to be out of shape. Their lungs aren't going to be working. Their heart's going to be under stress. Equally, they then have to have lots of NHS stress because they're going to have to have care done later in life.
And they'll have to pay more taxes.
So you've got an economic strain, NHS strain, and general health strain. And like, just because they want to say it's okay to be big and healthy and big and beautiful, which it is okay to be, but bear in mind, being unhealthy and being not looking after yourself, then that's not okay. But it's a really touchy subject because just for saying that alone, people will be like, "Well, you're saying being big is bad."
Yeah.
No one's saying being big is bad. Like, I mean,
it's not the healthiest thing, but sure, if you're happy, you're happy.
Yeah, if you're happy, you're happy.
Just don't preach out to other people to be equally as fat as you.
Don't go around telling people it's okay or make people feel bad if they do want to change from that. If someone is already big and feeling happy about it, and then they read an article from someone who said it's okay, they might change their mind and they may now not bother to try and become healthy or whatnot. So you don't over preach it, don't under preach it. It is what it is. I guess accept it for what it is at the end of the day.
I was going to ask Frankie's opinion, but then I got spiraled out of control in my head, thinking, where is this going to stop? As in, at some point, like we discussed being cats earlier on the previous podcast, at some point we're going to have the same people who are, I don't know, whatever they call gender.
Yeah.
Born a girl, now he's a boy, and now he wants to be a cat.
And now he wants to be obese and
and then he wants to inspire people to be a cat, transgender, and wants to inspire that sort of movement.
So you get a bunch of obese transgender cats all walking around saying it's okay to be this way.
Just around Ipswich, like, oh, there's the cat
Imagine
family.
the front covers of magazines in 3 years' time.
Yeah, I just don't like the double standard of like preaching that. They say, oh, don't believe all these fitness magazines, these people who are in shape. That's not fair. They should make everyone else feel bad. Yet it's okay for someone who's out of shape and large to say, talk about how beautiful it is to be like that too. So you can't have it one way, not the other. Both people should be able to talk about their opinions on any type of body shape and be happy in whatever skin they're in, or be happy to change if they want to.
Another thing, just before I ask for Frankie's opinion,
my opinion is not needed. Everything's been said. So.
Yeah, it's where do we draw the line? Okay, this is fitness. So what about finances? What if at some point you get really poor people being like, oh, I'm happy being poor. I'm happy not being on benefits and not contributing to society in any way.
Yeah, you have people out there who do that. It's that like there's a whole thing on YouTube where people kind of travel on the poor and show you how amazing it is, but then they probably don't tell you how the shit parts are.
Is this not another subject though for another day?
Yep. Yep. Spiral.
We spiraled.
I think going back to summarize then, the way I see it is that if you're persistent on trying to say I'm big and you should be big too type thing, it's selfish. It's just that's the end thing in my head that I get is do what the hell you want. But when what you are, like you said, could end your life 10, 20 years earlier, maybe you shouldn't be advocating that. You can do what the hell you want, innit? You could go eat fucking 10, 20. Like, you could go and eat 12 Krispy Kremes in 2 minutes.
Imagine seeing 2 people try and do that. Where would you see such content?
FortitudeTV, YouTube.
Boom.
Instagram too.
Boom. Yeah, I'm not going to chip in much about this because you lads said it quite well.
You summarised it perfectly.
We're coming from a fitness perspective. You might have someone from a fashion perspective say something different, but we've come from a fitness side of life where we think we really consider the health implications that come with it as well. So,
I guess on the fashion side of things, there's other companies that are now doing plus size model clothing, and there's loads of revenue in that. But
what did I see? I see something. I don't know if it was on the radio or the news, but I saw something similar to Big Women. It was something like you pay more. This woman was getting angry because somewhere had upped the price on an extra large. So the larger the clothes get, the more money it costs to pay for it. What's your thoughts on that?
Completely more material.
It's material usage, isn't it? It's mass. It's like
but I'm bigger, Jay. Why do I have to pay?
Because
if you're fat, you're gonna have to eat more as well. So you're gonna.
It costs me more to make your product. So it costs me more to make it. I don't make the money I'd like to make from it. So therefore, I have to up the price.
Yeah.
I can see why it's considered unfair because if you've got the same shirt for the same price, like it should technically be all the same price. But I can see why, as a company, you'd think, I want to put the price up of my XXXLs because they cost
you more to make it.
3 shirts to make one, sort of thing. That sounds like a horrible thing.
That's true. Airplane seats.
Yeah, it costs 3 shirts to make one, and therefore you make the profit of 1 shirt of something that costs you 3 shirts. From a business point of view, you are diminishing your own profits and putting yourself at risk.
It's one of those things where it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, if you cared so much, maybe try and lose some weight.
Yeah.
You know,
save money on your clothes. Drop your weight down.
But again, just to clarify for any listeners, we're not having a go at anyone. We're just bringing up topics just for the sake of
having a go at complainers. If you complain about it,
if you're happy with anything that was been said and you're also not advocating it, then it doesn't correlate with you, does it? But yeah, I'm happy with that. That was good.
That was good.
Look at that, we're getting good at it.
I know that was a nice little topic there, Frank.
Great.
Well
It got us heated.
Shout out to Frankie with the subject
the research. Are you ready for this, lads?
Are we?
Headlines.
I'm excited about this one.
Right, let me get my laptop close to me. Do you want a K list on there? We should have saved something. We should have said, yeah. I made a song. That was great. That's kind of made my song irrelevant because that was better.
I mean, that was we've been beatboxing for years, smashing.
Ready?
We could have just let each other.
We just had to say each other's names.
Man rescued after being stuck in abandoned restaurant grease vent for 2 days.
I like it.
Ready? A man has been rescued after being stuck in an abandoned restaurant's grease vent for 2 days. The man, who was physically exhausted and suffering from dehydration, likely would have not survived another day given the circumstances.
Do you think if they picked him up a day later and he was still alive, they would have then said the same thing? About a day later, he would have been.
He wouldn't have survived much more.
No matter what time they picked him up.
How long do you get before you die? Like if without food and drink?
I think it's something like it's longer without food, isn't it? It's less time without water. Like I think it's like
a few days with
like
water.
A few days without H2O.
They probably are right.
We are mainly H2O based humans, aren't we? So.
I think it's didn't they say something like you can survive for 3 months without food?
But it's like
really?
a few days without H2O.
Oh God,
your
I can
body
imagine
wears
that.
down its own resources, doesn't it, to fuel itself. So
you got completely catabolic and become thin.
you become shredded.
Stop eating. That's what
I mean,
I'm
we
going to
should
do.
call them shredded. I mean, there's plenty of people out there who are in that situation.
That's true.
And we're just calling them shredded. I say we. I did.
See the beauty in other people.
Yep. Ooh.
Right,
But yeah,
mate.
how did he get himself in the situation anyway?
Sheriff officers in the Alameda County Fire Department, obviously America, had to be.
Sounds like Florida. Is it Florida?
Oh wait, how did you know that?
Yeah, because everything shit happens in Florida.
Nah, San Francisco.
San Francisco is in Florida, isn't it?
Is it?
Isn't Florida the region as a whole?
Do you know what? I'm not going to go
Florida
in.
is city.
I don't really
I'm
know
thinking
America.
California is the region as a whole.
I'm not American. I don't really know I'm not very good at geography.
So Florida's its own city, isn't it? And then California is.
Florida Street, San Francisco. Distance from Florida to San Francisco.
I'm just thinking because the Golden Coast trip you can do in America for 2 weeks.
Oh wait, no, I got that completely wrong.
Yeah, so yeah.
Hold on, look. Fire department were called to a disused Chinese restaurant in San Lorenzo, around 25 miles east of San Francisco, to reports of a faint voice calling for help. Can you imagine? At around 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday, Sergeant Ray Kelly said, realizing the sound was coming from a roof vent on the top of the restaurant, they used a ladder and found the suspect stuck in a sheet of metal grease duct running from the roof to the kitchen. I've actually got pictures here. Sadly, I mean, I don't want to put it on the YouTube, guys, because that's just editing. But look it up. Just look it up. It was in the news recently. It's hilarious. It's the tiniest. Let's talk about why there's a man
Was he
in a
trying
grease
to
vent.
break into the restaurant?
I imagine it
and
was
then got stuck.
I imagine it was a robbery of some sort.
Yeah, because I mean, why would you be in an event, or why would you be doing things like that? What's the point? What are you trying to do? Unless you're trying to prove a point that you can do it.
Have you got stuck anywhere? Have you ever been stuck? I mean, I got told a story once from my friend. He works at Jamie Webber. Shout out, there you go. And he was. I just had this weird breath. It was a real struggle with my heart.
Some memories.
I like it. It's good.
So yeah, he's the football guy where what are the bloody ones that stand on the side of the pitch with the orange coats on and stewards. I really should know that. I'm the football guy.
No.
Hey, so he's a steward at Ipswich Town Football Club, and apparently they locked up the place, locked up the toilets, whatever. And they left a man in the toilets. They locked a man in there overnight.
I mean, that does happen. That can happen.
I'd be livid.
As a kid, I've always dreamt of being locked in a supermarket.
Have you seen those YouTube videos where they they chuck themselves in a wardrobe in a place and will stay in shops overnight and stuff?
That's quite funny.
That's like tonight sorted.
Should we go do that tonight?
Do you know they're the type of videos I despise? I'm afraid.
Oh, you despise everything.
I despise many things, Jay.
You do despise me.
Oh, spiralize.
Spiral.
No, there's no such thing.
I've been stuck in an elevator before.
Terrifying.
For those of you in Ipswich, if you remember the old car park near Crown Pools, the story one, the big tall one, really old. I used to do parkour there as a young lad. We went in the lift and it got to the top and it didn't open.
Oh shit!
It didn't open and we panicked. And then we pressed the button as a sign that said, if it doesn't open, press the button 10 times. Press it 10 times, it didn't open. And we had to ring the number on there. And an engineer had to come down and let us out.
How long were you in there for?
About 40 minutes.
Oh man, did you need a wee?
It's horrible. It's more fun though as young lads. We didn't quite...
Yeah. Were you planning anything? Meaning means of escape?
No, we just...
You're just happy, just chilling.
To be fair, I was slowly enjoying myself more and more. I was like, the more...
I bet you were well happy that this could be the
it's finally happening.
Yeah.
I mean, like 10 years later and I'm still fucking here.
Still there.
When did you get suicidal?
I'm not actually.
Bloody hell, okay.
No, as in like the character,
Imagine if he was. Imagine if you genuinely were suicidal and Kay just
And that's
admitted
not
it.
something we talk about on the podcast.
And Kay admitted it in front of the entire friends and
Imagine-
audience and so on.
I mean, I have my issues. But I don't want to kill myself.
I feel like it's a character. It's that thing. Do you ever worry? This is why I try and stop with the negative talk, because
Mate, relish.
do you worry that subconsciously some of the things you say rub off on you?
Most of the things I say are a little bit meaningful. So
A lot of the things you say, Joe, are very dark.
yeah,
I feel like there's definitely an element of truth. It's like you said before. It's cry for help.
Is
at
it
the same time.
is it being over dramatic? So let's say you had an inconvenience. Like if I was slightly annoyed at something, then I'd say, "This is the most angry I've ever been."
yeah. I'd say it's more finding humour as a way to deal with
Real
issues.
pain.
So you use humour as a way to deal with it, and then you kind of
As Jason's dad said, if you're not laughing, you're crying.
God, with wise words from the old man.
I think I've said it before. Like if I feel like if any of my relatives died, so any family members or so on, I'd be the type of person to crack jokes as my form of defense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I wasn't joking, probably Orwell would be with me by next stop.
You suddenly, if you don't make a few minor jokes about it, you suddenly realise the truth behind things. So you make a little joke or two. You run your humorous side about it. You get by. We're just doing the best we can, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
I seem to use humour in most circumstances. Like
Yeah.
if I'm ever my back up against the wall, I'll try crack a joke before I fight.
Get yourself
You know,
out of it.
yeah, I feel like comedy is
Good defense.
comedy can solve anything. You know.
Comedy can. Laughter is the best cure.
It really is.
Yep.
How do we feel about negative self-talk and rewiring our brains? Do you do anything
I
to...
love it.
You try with it?
I read a book once. I can't remember what it was. It was good. Can't remember what it was. Whole fucking shebang was terminology you're using. So highlighting what we just said. Any sort of bad words you say out of your mouth. I don't know if it means in your head as well, but I'm saying from out of your mouth. Try and keep it to not saying words such as I'll try. I think try was one of them.
Yeah.
Never say the word try because trying's not doing. If that makes sense.
I really hate the words. I hate books on manifestation, stuff like that. I was really stuck on reading them a few years ago. And like the book called The Secret about, if you imagine that you're going to have a Ferrari for 10 years in a row, you're going to have one. Yeah, that's bullshit without execution, obviously. Yeah. But there is some truth to it, I think. If you feed your subconscious with positivity, then you're just generally going to feel happy. And I found it from my self-experimentation, if you like. Yeah. If I listen to audiobooks in the background or I don't know, just Earl Nightingale or something like that. It definitely helps.
So you're one of my favourite. We've suddenly gone to book quotes and people quotes, but this we spiraled. One of my favourite things was what I tend to go by quite a lot. What Einstein said. And there's a quote from him which is like, it's about reading books and how good it is, but how that only gets you so far, and to the point where you use books as a reference point and a directional point of learning. That at some point you have to create your own opinions and your own things, and you have to innovate and become beyond that. So you take someone else's words, and instead of relearning it, you should take it in, maybe learn from it, maybe change a few things about yourself to mimic it in some degree, but then you have to find a way to grow from it and go beyond what the books are saying. I mean, Gary Vee mentions it in his own stuff where he mentions like, don't just take my word for everything I've done, don't copy exactly what I've done, don't become me, but use my guidance and use my lifestyle as a reference points to your own path. And yeah, so
I've got two spirals here. The first one was relating to the first thing you said, Jay, and that's about something I read. The quote goes something like, "Knowledge isn't power; the application is." So it's all good knowing, I don't know, having 10 different degrees, but if you're not using it, it's not very good. And the second one about Gary Vee, and somebody asked him, "Why'd you give away so much free knowledge? If it's actually that good, then surely you wouldn't be giving it away for free." And his response was that I guarantee 99% of you wouldn't be doing it, which is true.
Yeah. I always highlight it back to, because obviously I do a lot of editing and stuff. Well, I watch tutorials to learn because, I mean, no one's teaching me it. Otherwise, I literally have to find the stuff myself. If I have a problem that I have an idea, I'm like, what can I type to find the solution? I went through a phase of going through these channels and just watching tutorial after tutorial after tutorial, realizing, hold on a minute, I've forgotten what tutorial 1 and 2 were. I mean, and every tutorial I watched, the more and more I watched, I was trying to improve my productivity and so on, but I was trying to consume too much. Whereas when I just done the one thing and stuck to it for like a week, and that seemed to be my theme, I kept it as my theme. I got bloody good at it, so I got good at one thing, then move on. Good at one thing, and so
you
on.
applied knowledge as opposed to genuinely got more and more knowledge before you applied any of it.
Yeah. Kay, I must just say, Spiral, going back to talking into the mic thing, I thought what I'd do is watch K for a moment, a brief moment.
Are we going back to the K spiral list?
We will spiral back to what we were talking about if you want to go back to it.
No, I think that's good. I like where this is going now.
Jay likes a bit of controversy. K,
Yes.
I think you believe you're talking at the mic because you keep coming back and forth. But a lot of what you were saying, you were facing this way, and then you'd come back for a word.
Can I lift this up?
You can.
Does this make any difference?
The only issue, I think it's called a pop filter, so it stops like the crackle.
I'm going to put this on top of my head. I'm going to take a picture of it so you can see.
That's sexy. So it's genuinely just literally, so if I'm pointing my face away and my vocals are going that way, you genuinely got to talk. Like Jake, I was watching you were aimed at it the whole time, whereas Kay, you're obviously trying to get... I think it's where you're seated, maybe because you feel like left out. I
stare at Jay at the same time I stare at you. But this is better without this thing, definitely. I can work with this.
Just to let you know, Frankie, that it's better when he takes away the additions you've made.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I just see every. I mean, I would put my one on. I sound fine without one, so maybe they're all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep to mine because I like the full thing. Makes me feel legit.
I like them. I'm just didn't have anywhere to stick it.
I just stick my nose on it as I talk, because I get so into what I'm doing.
I think that's what it's for as well, to stop people getting too close. Like when you get animated, if I'm like, I've just ruined your ears.
From, muffling the mic and be.
Do you want to go back to your Gary V talk and stuff? Or
I think we went off from the headlines. I think the best spiral here would be to spiral back to the headlines again.
I'm going to quickly jump in on this.
Oh, not Jason, you cunt.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Do you remember how we used to do wallpapers for the vlog? Should we do one for this instead?
I loved it. That was so cool.
That was one of in a line of long list, of things. That was one of my favourites.
Was
wallpaper. I still got the golden lion.
Yeah, I can take so many quotes from this podcast that we use now, and we can put it into.
We can become the quotes.
We can. Become,
we're quoting ourselves.
But we quote it under the Fortitude logo, and then we're just the Fortitude Podcast.
Hot shit. Well, we are hot shit.
To be fair, we are.
Hey, manifest, bro. Manifest it.
Manifest. I'm still waiting for my Lambo. Manifestation is a weird one. People get well caught up in that. I like it, but then if you overplay the thing that you're not. And it's like acting like the thing that you're not too much, you then create a lifestyle that doesn't match the thing that you actually are, and then
you're just living a massive lie.
Yeah, then you're just a false nobody.
I think it's got to be the person, because I was on the drive here. I was listening to the radio, and they were talking. There was some boxer on there. I think he's Charlie Edwards or Corey Edwards or something like that. He's just won like a WBC title or something. And he was talking about, obviously. I keep saying obviously, like obviously he was talking.
Obviously, you dumb fucks.
He was talking about genuinely talking about manifestation, and how he would picture the fight and so on in his head, and by the time fight night came, there was no pressure because he's already done it. I think that's a version of manifestation.
It's visualization, isn't it?
I say
no!
They just fist bumped without me.
It's going to be bombed onto what that actually was. Yeah, it's not to be confused with visualization, I guess. Maybe the boxers just.
I hate to say it, and that's the first time. I've used manifestation way before that, but visualization, the first time I've actually really applied it was at DWA Fitness.
Sorry, what's the difference?
Visualization and manifestation.
So manifestation is when you constantly just say words without actually visualizing them, and then visualize them as well. This is a wider term. Visualization being you just visualize doing this.
Okay, sorry.
You see it a lot in what's it called, bobsleigh, and the guys who before they go on, they'll be outside, like their eyes shut, like waving side to side. And motion in the track. It's visualization.
What were you saying, Kay?
So the first time, it was me, Jason, and someone else at the gym, and we're doing clean and press, and we walked past the personal trainer. His name is Jamie Bell.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And he said, he mentioned visualization before doing the clean and press, and I've used that, and used that ever since, actually. So that's...
Yeah, it's the best way. I use that a lot in lifting. You got to really imagine you're doing it before you do it, and then you do it, then you attack it like you've already done it, and then you do it.
It definitely feels better visualizing something. I guess it's more of a short-term terminology. So you visualize something that happens,
like with an upcoming event, or it's like with boxing, like
manifestation is like a long-term, like 15 years time.
You're looking at where you're going to end up, and you act to a degree of where you're going before you're there.
I struggle. I've tried the now I know what we're talking about. I got confused with thinking they're pretty much the same thing. They pretty much are the same thing. I think maybe let's. I'll tell you what. Let's talk about what your pre-manifestation. What the fuck? I cannot manifestation. Let's. I'll talk about my one. So, my last Manny was probably. Did you just fart, Jay?
No, it's K.
I just blame Jay.
Of course it was
Jay. So I was about to break into a good
Just when you're
talk, and Kay fired.
He got you because he saw you're mounting yourself up for a decent talking patch. You're about to attack the mic, and Kay was like, "Quickly fart to put him off." He
thrown me.
He farted right in my zone the other day.
You said, that was.
Remember I told you about it. Remember when I sent you the video.
Yeah, cheers, Kay. I mean,
sorry.
I could have been into a great manifestation right now.
And now you can't.
And you ruined it.
I'm breathing in shit.
You're breathing in.
Smelly one.
In poo
I can't remember the
follicles.
last time. I can't remember the last time I've been in the same room as Kay in a situation where I didn't eventually taste his poo.
Can you remember that time, Jay?
He got mad at me for farting.
He got mad at you for farting, and he was like, "Why would you do that?"
Disrespectful.
No, that was in my face.
That wasn't in your face.
And he talked about you when you left the room, Jay.
I know. That's why I walked in very mad after.
You did.
I was very hurt by it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I've been fired on by you so much.
I've smelt your shit so much, man.
And food or no food.
You don't seem to care if anyone's eating.
But it's the other way around. You didn't like it.
Yeah. Anyway, manifestation. Jeez. Right.
I apologise.
We'll do. Oh my Christ!
I apologise for that time I did fart. I didn't mean for you to.
I mean, cheers for both talking over me again.
So, me and Kay just making out.
You're having a love reunion.
Talk about the Manny.
I'm not on board. I'm done.
I
I'm done.
don't want to talk about the Mannies really.
I'm done.
Oh no.
Cheers, lads. You know what? I'm muting your entire track. It's just gonna be me talking.
You're talking and then laughing, but you know what you're laughing in response to.
Everyone, if you were eager to hear what I was going to say, you can fuck off because you're not getting it.
Message Frankie separately.
To be fair, all went wrong with Kay farted at you.
Genuinely, Kay's fart and
He
stench.
essentially done a metaphoric shit on your words.
I'm going to slap that metaphorical shit on my eyelids.
Yeah, good. Gives a pink eye.
So I had no idea, so I'm gonna pretty much. We're up to an hour, which is good, so we're going to call it there.
It goes so quickly.
It does. I mean, we're just so
I
fun.
really enjoyed my time with you guys.
Yeah.
Can't wait for you guys to twist what I just said.
Farting on us.
But you really enjoyed
His
your
acquaintances.
time. His acquaintances.
He now considers us friends.
What's in the package, Frank?
I helped Frankie set the mics up earlier on.
Okay,
well, Kay just watched us do it.
No, I was watching a video.
This counteracts what I said last time.
Kay was watching a video I made and then had the nerve to say, Frankie! Why are you editing me like this?
Oh yeah, he had to go at you for something, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did that to me before. Remember when he messaged me saying
that was the worst case ever. Like, Kay stepped up there. He was like he was face to face with you. That was a stare off.
That was
Kay stared you off.
Yeah.
He was like, Jay,
I was just surprised.
can you not see where to do the cuts?
Yeah, but could you not, Jason?
You can't.
you agreed. You agreed.
No, I liked it. To be fair, I liked it. I did it because I go for.
I enjoy what you enjoy. I enjoy a long take.
I go raw. I keep it all there. Little mistakes.
They both hate me.
It's just preferences. You enjoy the cuts. Like Moa does a lot of cuts.
I can't enjoy a cut. It's too I'm listening to someone and it goes. It just changes. It just changes too much.
Tagging Moa in this.
I just can't. Oh, you're like tagging.
They are cuts. The good thing about cut is that you really don't have to keep doing it. Yeah. Whereas if you're doing a long take, like when we were doing our Facebook videos and stuff, if you fuck up one word, you've got to do your 2 minutes again. Yeah. So cuts are good for that.
I really struggle to get my train of thought all at once.
It can be a struggle to get it.
Well, that's because we don't plan. If we were gonna, if you were gonna come in with a script like an actor, you know what you're saying there and then.
But then really scripted stuff is also sometimes a bit.
But for like a Facebook video, if we cared enough, that would be good. For a vlog, then for a vlog, it's weird.
Vlogs are meant to be a little bit raw, though. They're meant to be a little bit of what you're up to. Like that's the whole point.
Just Kay staring out that window for 20 seconds.
I thought that was funny as hell.
I knew full well Kay didn't want that. When I watched it, I was like, Kay would not want that.
I thought that was funny as hell.
I thought it was funny. I laughed.
It was funny at me, not with me.
Yeah, but
Frankie, exactly. There's your answer.
I take the mick out of you. Everyone.
The entire life here is normally funny at me. Like everything, like
but that was a direct dig.
It wasn't. You think I dug at you? You think I attacked you?
I don't know what
That was
happened.
an
How was
attack.
that an attack?
That was an attack.
How was that an attack?
I cried in
That
my
was not an
sleep.
attack.
Cried
That
in my
was
sleep. I
funny.
wake up
Jack,
with-
I reckon in Jay's head, he was
with
like,
sticky
I'm going to
eyes.
get you, mate.
What? No.
Wake
I
up with
could have had a
sticky eyes
cut.
in my sleep.
Fuck the
Wake
cut.
up afraid.
Yeah,
Wake
Frank
up.
has fucked us in loads of
Keep
different
waking up.
things.
I
I mean,
have,
our first ever vlog, every
I'm
word
waking up.
I said, I had like words and worms and
Going to
snakes
sleep.
You know,
and at one point, I done a little talk. It was my first solo talk to the camera.
I
and
smashed
hated
it,
in
didn't I?
that pink outfit. And I was,
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, see, and Frankie put it out there, and it was shit and lame. But
you took that really well. That was quite...
It was what it was.
That was one. That, I think if you go back to Fortitude Fortitude Fitness and watch our first vlog on there,
Frankie was relentless.
I slammed into Jay.
I got
I remember these
I got
days.
dancing by myself in slow motion in the corner of the room and outside there. I got loads
To
of
be fair,
that.
we're
But
Jason
we thought that was a running gag. That
It still happens these days.
Yeah.
We still joke about it.
What's in the package, Frank?
the packet. Oh, it's just Louisa's stuff. I think.
So like, yeah. So no, okay, it wasn't a dig at you. It wasn't an attack. It was a raw vlog.
Do you remember the time we went to Body Power? So it's because you
Yeah.
said raw.
Like it
What do you
raw.
mean, like it raw.
Like a raw, yeah. I can't remember. Are you guys going this year? Should we go this year? Should
Absolutely
we
not. I'm not going back there, man.
bro,
I
why
wouldn't
not?
do
It was
for-
shit. It
I
was so
wouldn't do
shit.
it I wouldn't
I wouldn't pay for it.
pay for it.
Oh no, I'm not saying pay. I'm
Should we
saying
go see?
Photoshop.
Hey, like it raw, you going back?
No,
Should
no,
we get back on
Photoshop
like it
some
raw?
We
press
snuck
passes.
in, didn't we, through the back anyway?
We did.
I think you should definitely Photoshop some press passes.
Apparently, they've got a different layout though this year.
Every year they have a different layout.
Oh, really?
There's always a way.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I really didn't like it.
I didn't really enjoy it. I
Ah.
enjoyed it when we were walking around that night by ourselves.
Yeah, that
when
was
it
good.
before it's open, and bumping into like
Ross Edgerly.
Ross Edgerly and stuff.
We didn't even take any samples, did we?
No,
I
we
mean, I
didn't
stole
really-
some smelling salts.
I feel like we were on one of those things where we, all right, audience, you've got to know the thing about us three is that out of our comfort zone, sometimes we're on a pedestal. I don't want to put it bad. It's not like we think we're above,
Yeah.
but we have too many inner jokes and stuff that we cannot resist.
We can
Yeah.
socialize as a three.
Yeah, so we were. I mean, that night and that whole weekend, I was on a rampage of inner jokes and
Yeah.
this and that. And,
Yeah.
oh God,
It was just
can't take us out.
we can't go out anywhere together.
I mean, even to put it into perspective, we're all really close friends, and me and Josh were close friends, and even then, I felt like as a trio,
Yeah.
I still couldn't connect with him because that's how close
I mean,
we were.
offended
with
him on the
jokes.
way back home.
We did. Oh yeah.
I wasn't there because I went with Louise,
Oh
didn't
my
I? So
god, he
what
went to
happened?
punch Jason because Jason made a joke.
What?
Oh, don't just say me.
What?
We
He
were
went to
laugh-
punch you?
We laughed about an interaction he had with a Gymshark athlete, and we reinvented that interaction in Subway.
Yeah.
And he did not like it.
Oh yeah, he was like, I'd appreciate it if you stop talking about it now.
Yeah.
He was mad.
We reinvented an awkward interaction he had.
Which makes us think, like, how like, are we savage with each other, or are we just, do we dig at each other a lot? Are we like?
Well, I don't know, because I mean,
I think we've briefly talked about this before.
we're not really savage at each other. We got like a weird band where we're not really that mean to each other. I mean, we can't be mean to the UK. You strike us down with your golden
Yeah.
hand of glory. I mean, you thought I attacked you with a pause. So like, I can't.
The thing is, yeah. So being my friend, and you've got friends like it as well.
Yeah,
like
they're a bit nasty to each other.
like hello cunt. You talk
Yeah.
to each other like that.
Yeah,
like Max, Mix and Matcher. Like,
Yeah.
hello mate, you dickhead.
Well,
You-
to be fair, I don't have friends who call each other cunts. That's you've got those laddish types. haven't
yeah,
you?
I've
Like,
got That's why you can pretty much say all you want to me, and I don't really batter an eyelid. It's because I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
Where I mean now, because you've managed to convert me to your more sensitive ways.
Butthurt ways.
I do. I get butthurt by quite things like I didn't think I would. That time, Lee Colombo come up to me in Revs, and I think he didn't even really do it. I think I was a bit drunk.
Yeah.
I was like, "You trying to alpha me, Lee?" Like,
He talked to me about that the other day.
and he was like, "No, no," and I was like, "I've realised like the next day, I was like, you little pansy,
Yeah,
like
it
me,
felt a bit bad.
like what am I being so overreactive?"
He mentioned that to me the other day. He was like, I wasn't really sure about Frankie since that time at Revs.
Really?
Since he started with me, yeah.
But to be fair, he did make me look a prat. I can't
I can't
remember
remember what
what
it
he done.
was, but I remember.
Because I wouldn't have said nothing if, but I still think I didn't handle it very well.
But I get where you're coming from. Like, it's all well and good, a little bit of bants, but when someone's trying to actively make you look like a fool in front of the rest of the group, I
Yeah.
don't enjoy that so much.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's.
You always
that's
get
what
one
I
guy
do.
that does it in front of a group of girls as well.
They
when you're
always
single.
got to try
Oh,
and impress the
God.
room. Impress the room.
I like to try and teach him a lesson though, because most of the time I feel like I can joke someone. So if they really want to come at me, I feel like I could easily destroy them.
I'll banter them, yeah.
But like I don't feel the need to do that anymore because I don't know anyone who would do it to us.
I feel like we're at the stage of life where we don't really care enough about little things like that anymore anyway.
I guess I get upset still.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely still get upset.
A bit of
I probably would get upset.
We really still do. Definitely. Please don't upset us.
Be nice.
Yeah, just be nice to us and we won't have to knock you the fuck out.
Alright. Cool.
We're just not socially wide enough.
No.
We need to go out more.
Because we hire us. No, we hold ourselves with some sort of regard. But
Yeah.
we feel like we don't need to be called bitch.
Yeah, we're self-respect.
Swore at.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to somebody else. So
Yeah, basic manners.
But then to play devil's advocate, remember the time I said bitch to Kamal? I was coming from a good place, like a joke place. I had no malice in my heart.
yeah.
If you're playing devil's advocate, the same would happen with someone else. Because now I'm on your side with it.
Yeah.
If someone came in and went, bitches, they mean nothing.
Don't
They
really
mean
it, do
absolutely
they?
nothing.
Yeah. I guess it's like
It's
when
very
we're
subtle, though, isn't it?
It's like when we're joking around sometimes, and you say something, and I'll be leave it out, or like you go, oh shut up, mate. Like if you don't mean it in a nasty way.
I think the bottom line is: would you say it to Queen Elizabeth or I don't know, Barack Obama? You wouldn't say, "Oh,
Yeah, but I don't know them.
Did you just level yourself with?
I mean, just in general, the Queen.
Just put yourself on par with Queen Elizabeth.
We have a title.
He just took the
thinks he's the Queen.
Took the pedestal we put ourselves on and hired himself up to being on par with the Queen.
So-
No, I mean us,
He's
all
like,
of us.
if you wouldn't talk to the Queen like that, then you can't talk to me like that.
I mean, us.
But I don't want to be friends with the Queen.
Yeah. Or maybe Obama. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, be man.
But I don't want people to feel like they can't talk or have any sort of.
Yeah.
So you gotta be.
There's a
careful.
fine line,
You
isn't
got
there?
you gotta get a fine line if that was done. I don't think we have that very well.
No.
Yeah. So
Right, I think we've come to a natural close.
I've really enjoyed this one.
it's good.
I enjoy them all. I love an hour. I'm enjoying the hour ones, even though.
I can't remember why we struggled to do an hour at the very start. 20 minutes felt like ages originally.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really have a plan, did we?
Yeah,
I think
yes.
we probably episode 15ish onwards, we started finding out a format of like the intro, weekly recap.
We had a natural
K-list
K-list
and
that
then-
came in.
I can't wait for the day when Frankie mentioned sponsors briefly before. About the day we get sponsored by, I don't know, Aqua or something.
I think we could get
Have to
sponsored
be
now.
like- I'm just going to take a quick sip of my
Oh
smart
my god, I
water.
was just thinking that. I was just thinking Aqua or something. Oh.
I think season 3 of the podcast. So we're in season 2 at the moment, episode 1. Whenever we get into season 3,
Sponsored.
is maybe sponsors and cameras.
Maybe some mic companies would sponsor us. Like,
Maybe.
so we use
Right.
their equipment to talk about their, like, we'll be using their stuff to.
So when Jason sets the scene, let me just set the scene to my red mic.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, so this road mic here is just coming nice and close.
Every
to my
time you talk.
Let me just watch
And the thing
my
about the road mic.
down.
Wouldn't it just be like at the start within the jingle or something? It'd be Fortitude Winners.
Road mic.
Sponsored
Something
by
like
Road Mic.
No, you'd have a bit, and over to our sponsors where and then you'd have like a minute segment or 30 seconds just to say,
Entrepreneur on Fire, they sell 30-second ad space or 15-second ad space.
yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's the whole point, yeah. So people are
They're
buying
releasing,
into
like
it.
a new mic or something. Would say,
Or get your free Audible subscription for
Yeah.
the first month.
yeah, that's quite cool.
Hey, so if there's anyone out there who wants to sponsor us,
Audible would be a great one.
Yeah.
Audible would be good.
They do. I've contacted them before. They do affiliation marketing.
What's that?
It's where you get if somebody
Discount code.
subscribes, you get percentage
Oh,
of
okay.
sales.
That's all right.
Right. So let's call it there. To my left,
Jason Watson,
to my right,
Kamal Medov,
and me, Frankie Lies. Jay, what's your Instagram?
Rustic Soul.
K.
Life of Kamal.
And me, the real Frankie Luz. And just to close out, gang, next week, I'm going to tease next week.
Ooh.
And it's just a little bit different this time out. I was thinking we go into, as the talking topic, the life of J or the life of K. And then, like, the next one, like a couple episodes later, it could be the life of K. And then, so I want you to talk about, you've got a week to plan it. And you can make it good. You can think of some funny stories that you've had along your life and so on, or any like milestones that have happened or something out of, sad, happy, whatever. Go from Baba, little Baba, all the way to now. That'd be good. Who wants to go first? I think we're going to do it.
I think Kay should go first.
Shotgun second.
I mean, we might as well save the best of last.
No,
should we not?
because
can I pick?
Kay's got a thing where, I mean, remember that time when we spoke about the the magazine articles, and then I gave my head and bit my 30 word header.
Yeah.
Kay came in and done a paragraph to it, which was like my one, but on steroids. Like, just
Yeah.
outdone it completely. He likes to go second, so he can take your standard and crush you with it. So on that note, we should see what Kay does when he goes first.
All right.
Okay, Kay's first.
Nice.
Right, so the life of Kay.
Manipulated.
No, it's true. It's a true fact.
Or Kay's going to hit out of the park, and
I agree.
no one wants to listen to us anymore. So
I think Kay should go first. Do it.
right, Kay.
So what do I have to plan tomorrow? For
No, it's
next
just
podcast?
for the next podcast. You've just got to plan like a 15. Oh, a little chat.
Just a few
maybe
stories
15
about my
minutes.
life story.
Yeah, like how you got from where and what started inspiring you, so
Oh,
on.
it's inspirational stuff. Not
No, that can be, and there's maybe some funny stories you had along, like in your youth, where,
All right.
like, with your babysitters and all that are funny.
Gotcha.
Who are you? Yeah.
Oh, what that babysitter then?
Yeah, save it, man.
save it.
Right,
Don't
Kay,
let
do
them
your
know.
outro.
Oh, bye.
I'm just gonna play 2 minutes of my song now,
Nice.
just to
I
get
like
it
it.
out.